Thanks for joining me on a winter adventure in the Arctic. Today we're going to look at travel in the Arctic, a shelter cabin, and what happens to boiling water when it meets negative 5-degree Fahrenheit temperatures. The Arctic can be as beautiful as it is deadly in the wintertime. Our trip today will take us across frozen ponds. We will travel across sea ice and over the tundra to a small shelter cabin. Shelter cabins are sparsely spread out along established trails in the Arctic. They offer winter travelers a place to stop and warm up or shelter for a period of time in the event of winter storms or emergencies. They are outfitted with a wood stove and some wood. It's negative 5 degrees outside right now, so before I took off any of my gear, I needed to start a fire. I like to start a fire with one medium-sized piece of wood and use kindling to bridge from that piece of wood to the bottom of the stove. It creates a little teepee to put fire starter under. I use dryer lint as tinder because it ignites very quickly. Disposable lighters are convenient. But a backup lighter is a good idea. That said, you should always carry emergency matches. Now that I got a little fire started, let's take a look at this cabin. It's small, but that helps it heat up quickly. I'm going to get some water on the stove for a hot beverage, and then go out and play before it gets dark. By the time I returned, the sun was setting, so I spent the night. In the morning, I got a fire going and put some water on to make coffee. A French press is basically a screen on a plunger and a cylinder. You put the coffee in the French press, add hot water, stir, put the plunger back in so that it doesn't get cold. While the coffee's brewing, let's take a look at a time-lapse sunrise. It takes about 10 minutes and French press coffee's ready. After coffee, I boiled some more water and took it out to see what would happen in the minus 5-degree Fahrenheit air. That was so exciting, we should probably do it again. It's time to hit the trail. For the trip home, I thought I would take an off-trail shortcut over the tundra. This is a good example of the difference between flat light and good riding light. In flat light, there are no shadows to distinguish the ridges and valleys in the snow. In the sunlight, you can see the shadows and thus the contours within the snow. The final stretch of the trip is along the Arctic coast. The high tide and low tide frequently break the ice and leave crevasses that may allow seawater back up on top of the ice to refreeze. Thanks for traveling along, and don't forget to subscribe.